Your reading companion.
It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. This famous line opens the story, set in the late 1700s during a time of great change. Two cities, London and Paris, are at the center of the tale. While London is calm and orderly, Paris is boiling with anger. The people of France are suffering under unfair laws and cruel rulers. The French Revolution is coming, and it will change everything. A mysterious prisoner. In London, a quiet man named Jarvis Lorry works for Tellson's bank. One day, he receives a message, recalled to life. It's a strange phrase, but it means something important. A man who was thought to be dead is alive. That man is Dr. Alexander Manette. He was locked away in the Bastille prison in Paris for 18 years. No one knew why. Now he is free, but broken. He spends his days making shoes, lost in his own mind. Jarvis Lorry travels to Paris to bring Dr. Manette back to London. With him is Lucy Manette, the doctor's daughter. She thought her father was dead, but now she will meet him for the first time. Lucy is kind, gentle, and full of hope. When she sees her father, she doesn't run away in fear. She hugs him and speaks softly. Slowly, Dr. Manette begins to remember who he is. Lucy's love helps him heal. A love triangle. Years pass. Lucy and Dr. Manette live peacefully in London. Many people admire Lucy, including two men, Charles Darnay and Sidney Carton. Charles Darnay is a Frenchman who left his country because he disagreed with how the nobles treated the poor. He's smart, polite, and honest. He wants to start a new life in England. Sidney Carton is a lawyer who works with Mr. Stryver. He's clever but unhappy. He drinks too much and doesn't believe in himself. But when he meets Lucy, something changes. He sees goodness in her, and it makes him want to be better. Both men love Lucy, but she chooses Charles Darnay. They get married and have a daughter. Sidney Carton is heartbroken, but he doesn't show it. Instead, he becomes a quiet friend to the family. He tells Lucy, "I would do anything for you or anyone you love." Secrets and danger. Charles Darnay has a secret. He's actually Charles Evremond, a member of a rich French family. His uncle was cruel to the poor, and Charles hated it. That's why he changed his name and moved to England. But trouble is brewing in France. The poor people are rising up. Led by Madame Defarge, a fierce woman who knits the names of enemies into her scarf, the revolution begins. The Bastille is stormed. Nobles are arrested. Many are sent to the guillotine, a deadly machine that cuts off heads. Charles receives a letter from an old servant in France who is in danger. He decides to go back to help, even though it's risky. When he arrives, he is arrested. The revolutionaries see him as a nobleman, and that makes him their enemy. Lucy and Dr. Manette rush to Paris to save him. Dr. Manette uses his past as a prisoner to speak to the leaders. For a while, it works. Charles is released. But then, a new accusation appears. The hidden letter. Madame Defarge has a reason to hate the Evermond family. Years ago, her sister was hurt by Charles's uncle. Dr. Manette had written a letter about it and hid it in his prison cell. Now the letter is found, and it condemns Charles. Charles is arrested again and sentenced to die. Lucy is devastated. Sidney Carton arrives in Paris and sees her pain. He remembers his promise, "I would do anything for you or anyone you love." A noble sacrifice. Sidney Carton comes up with a daring plan. He visits Charles in prison and switches places with him. They look alike, and the guards don't notice. Charles is taken away to safety, while Sidney stays behind. As he waits for the guillotine, Sidney feels peace. He knows he is giving Lucy and her family a future. His final thoughts are powerful. It is a far, far better thing that I do than I have ever done. It is a far, far better rest that I go to than I have ever known. Sidney Carton dies so that Charles Darnay can live. His sacrifice is remembered forever. Themes and lessons. Redemption. Sidney Carton starts as a man who feels worthless, but through love and sacrifice he finds meaning. His final act shows that anyone can change and do something great. Justice and revenge. The French Revolution was about justice, but it also became about revenge. Madame Defarge's anger is understandable, but it leads to more pain. The story asks, how do we balance justice with mercy? Love and sacrifice. Lucy's love heals her father. Sidney's love saves her husband. True love is not just about feelings, it's about actions, even when they're hard. Even though A Tale of Two Cities was written in 1859, its message is timeless. It reminds us that history is shaped by people, some cruel, some kind, some broken, and some brave. It shows how love can heal, how sacrifice can inspire, and how even in the darkest times, hope can shine through. Ready for more? Watch this next.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.